making some Chokladbullar, which are Scandinavian cardamom chocolate buns with pecans. So first thing we're going to do is roll out the dough so that we can fill it. This dough is pretty sticky, so make sure you dust your work surface with some flour and the dough as well. My dough just came out of the fridge, so it's pretty sturdy. All right. So we want to roll it out into a square. As long as you keep lifting your dough and moving it around and making sure there's flour under it, then you'll be fine. It won't stick to your work surface. And if it does, you can use your scraper just to lift it up. So your square is an exact science. If it's not exactly 45 by 45 centimeters, that's fine. But you want it to be pretty big because the knotting technique we're going to use for these buns is a little braid. So you need to have space to cut them into 3 strips. But I'll show you that in a minute. Next thing we're going to do is spread the filling on. So I have this chocolate filling here, which is cocoa powder, a little bit of cinnamon, butter, and sugar. And we want to spread that over 2/3 of your dough. So we're going to be folding it into thirds. So I like to use my dough scraper to spread it out, or you can use a knife or a spatula or something like that. Make sure it goes all the way to the edges, because you want to have filling on all of your buns. There we go. Chocolate! Now we're going to fold the dough. So we want to fold it into thirds, like as if you're folding a business letter. So we stretch it a little bit and fold it over. And then we're going to take the other side and fold that over the first side. And then I'm going to roll it a little bit just to make sure there's no air bubbles in it. So make it nice and even. Make sure that filling is spread out. So this is going to make 12 buns, so we want to cut it into 12 strips. I like to cut the ends off just because they tend to be a little bumpy. I like my buns to be nice and even. You cut those off, keep the pieces in case one of your buns ends up being smaller than the rest, and you can just tuck it under to even the size out. 12 pieces, 12 buns, so we need to cut it into 12 slices. We're going to cut this into 3 strips, so keep them connected at the top, but make 3 little tails, like this. All right, so we have our strip of dough. Cut 3 tails, like that are connected at the top, and then we're going to braid it. Left over right, right over left, until you get to the bottom. You pinch it together a little bit. And now they ended up too short to knot, so I'm just going to roll them up like that. There you go. It's going to be really messy. It doesn't matter, you won't see that once you've baked them. All right, let's do another one. 3 tails. Let's braid it. So if you want to roll it, just tuck it in and roll it over like that. There we go. And what we're going to do is let them rise covered with some plastic wrap, and then we're going to sprinkle the pecans over it, or the pecans depending on how you say it, with some egg wash and put them in the oven to bake.